Welcome back if you've been in before. If you don't know, I'm Lee and I make art and videos about art. So this was meant to be a nice light one today. This was actually inspired by Inktober and so Inktober's approaching. So I decided to paint some of my old Inktober drawings from last year. So this video will just be me showing you the process of the two paintings I made, one of them being this octopus, and it was meant to be painting this image, but I couldn't find the reference image, so I went with a different octopus, but still the same animal, so it's all right. And the second one will be a chameleon. In fact, I will get that up now. Bam. So this one I actually could find the reference image, and I was just going to use this video to talk about the process of these two and just how I made it, but I figured I would actually kind of take advantage of this time to document some thoughts that I've been swirling around right now, which is based on the title of the video, which is roughly kind of the idea of just how to figure out what your work is about, how to talk about it, and how to understand what the meaning of it is, and if it's conceptual or it holds some kind of concept within the work. Just kind of talking about what that means and why I struggle so much with it. So yeah, I'll just bring the videos up, talk through my thoughts, and you can enjoy watching these get made. So I had a conversation with someone recently, and during that conversation, I realized that they help kind of expose this huge gap in my artistic practice, I guess, which is actually just communicating what my work is about. And I kind of spent the last 3 years of painting just trying to understand techniques and methods and what work is appropriate for which subject. And I haven't spent a lot of time really kind of just answering the question of what my work is about, what I'm making work for. And that is really where I want to kind of take this next year of my artistic practice, or really however long it takes to figure this out. Now, this doesn't have to be a complex thing at all. It can just, as long as it's clear to me and I understand what it is, I think, and it's articulated well, I think I'm happy with it. So in regards to, say, these, for example, the animal pieces that you're seeing here, I have a good grip on what I already like about wildlife and portraiture, and in what direction I want to take what I do. With context, however, why I make the work that I do, I've had a bit of trouble with how to think about this. Previously, it was an issue of thinking about context as if it needs to be injected into the work, kind of like, I don't know, making an action film and then arbitrarily deciding why they're fighting afterwards, you know? So like not really kind of giving them any motivation to do the thing or understanding what the motivation is. But what I think may be a more accurate way of approaching it is to find the reason that's already there in the work. Because it may be the case that your reason for it already shows in the work, or my reason for it already shows in my work, and that instead of trying to inject that into it, I'm just kind of discovering it through making the work and being a bit introspective. Now, here comes the bit of the problem for me when I'm trying to communicate this to others, right? So I clearly like painting portraits based on my portfolio, and I clearly love painting wildlife. And I even understand what it is I like about them both, which isn't immediately obvious, but it hasn't taken too long to figure out. I think my problem comes when I'm trying to understand why I like what I do, which is kind of a question I've been asked quite a lot, is why do I make the work that I do? And it seems like an impossible question to answer for me, because I don't know how you can know why you value what you value. You know, why do you like what you like? It just seems unreasonable to even kind of ask that question, really, to be aware of all of the contributing factors to your genetic makeup, your mind, and your environment throughout your whole life, and understand how that's impacted you. I have no clue how to answer that. So my guess is that no one actually is, and that there is a different question there that I'm just not understanding. So maybe it's not necessary to answer that question kind of as it's phrased. Maybe I'm just missing the point, which I think is probably more likely. So maybe it's just enough to know what it is that you like and to communicate just that effectively through your work. So there leaves no ambiguity of what it is that you're doing. And then later on, there could be more conversations. And I think the lack of clarity of what my work is about in my work is what's causing the confusion with people when they're viewing it and they want to know really what it's about. So I'm going to attempt to briefly describe what my work is about, or what I believe my work is about right now, and refer back to this in a year and just see if my thoughts on it have changed, if they haven't, if I can articulate it a little better, if they have changed, how so. So my work is about communication. And I don't mean the broad subject of how people communicate, but I mean I'm actually trying to use my work to communicate different things that I value to other people. And I try and do that in a few different ways. So with portraiture, I try and do it in more of a holistic, conceptual manner. So I will create a piece that hopefully encompasses two or more opinions that are opposing or adjacent, to give someone a full perspective of the situation without judgment, to be able to think about and discuss by themselves or with someone else. And with the wildlife or the animal drawings and paintings and the images that I make, I'm communicating something a lot simpler, which is just the nuances of the things that I love about nature, wildlife, and animals. And that's how I made these two images. And those are my thoughts on meaning behind art, concept in art. And yeah, if I'm honest, I'm struggling quite a bit with figuring out how to answer these questions around how to put meaning into work and how to talk about the meaning behind the work. So if you make art, or if you don't, and you just have some thoughts about how to do those things, please let me know. I need all the help I can get right now. And yeah, I'd love any advice. So if you do have any, please put it in the comments below, and I'll read through and then just spit back my thoughts, have a little bit of a dialogue. And yeah, so I'll be making more of these as well. Just kind of as the weeks go by, I've got 31 Inktober sketches that I can kind of draw from, and then I guess I'll be making new material to do that this Inktober as well. So I'll be participating in Inktober. So if you want to check that out, do so. And I've got some videos from last year as well, where I'll be doing kind of a similar thing, just kind of recapping which drawings I made, what worked about them, what didn't, what I've learned from the process, what I kind of will take from this into my main pieces and works. And yeah, so that's all I have to say for this video, except for my other work. So if you do want to see my other work, check out my socials. I've got a website, all my work on there, or most of my work on there. My Instagram as well, that's where I post up regularly. And I recently started posting some of my work, including these two shorter videos on TikTok. So if you want to see some of my work, check out that too. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.